Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Harlequin here, and welcome to another episode of HarlequinCasts, Company of Heroes. Man, you know, I always want to say Harlequin Coho, even when I'm doing Dawn of War 2 games. It's an old habit. May Coho rest in peace. Anyhow, I have a fantastic 2 versus 2 game for you today that I really enjoyed. So this game just reminds me of all the reasons why I love Company of Heroes, and I love watching Company of Heroes replays. It is just so cool sometimes. So let's take a look around right now. This is going to be the 2 versus 2 map, Rails and Metal. This map was available in Company of Heroes Online, so I am very familiar with it. And I really played a ton of 2 versus 2 on Company of Heroes Online, so I really know this map pretty well. So let's take a look around the map. I referenced this earlier. I covered a couple of games on the 1 versus 1 map, Wrecked Train, and it had sort of a similar kind of feel to the middle of the map, but really it's a totally different map. You'll notice we have a downed glider here that just kind of crashed into some sort of a freight train. That would be the Wrecked Train in question. That's kind of the center of the map here. But let me go ahead and take a look around, and I'm just going to show you what the deal is. So 3 victory points, and each one of these victory points is like its own little dangerous puzzle. It's very interesting to see how this plays out in team games. This victory point on the northern side, very exposed. It's really out in the open here. You frequently see bunkers and stuff like that, but this building is kind of far away from it, and you really have to cross a lot of ground. There's not a ton of cover out there, and it's a very exposed one. The middle point here is incredibly exposed. This is usually where the game hinges upon, is the capturing of this victory point. There's all sorts of annoying buildings around it, like this building right here. They're just some key buildings kind of all around here that act as reinforcement points, or the Axis can often, or whoever's, you know, in the top side of the map here, can often get a machine gun nest in this building right here. It makes it really annoying to try and get in here and cover it. But in general, there's just no safe way to approach it. You've got fences and stuff like that. And then down here, this victory point is very nestled in. It's actually quite well defended. There's, again, this building here. You've got some trenches here. You can see barbed wire all over the place. I've seen people barbed wire from both sides going in every direction. Very interesting map. A lot of brutal little positions here, and it often just kind of evolves into a very late game kind of standoff with massive things going on. So let's take a look around the map right now and get introduced to our players, and we'll see what's going on here. So down here today, playing as the Allies, and this is going to be double Allies versus double Wehrmacht. We can see we've got I wanted to call him MrMojo Rising, but his name already has a Mr. in the title. So we've got MrMojo Rising down here on the left-hand side, and his ally today on the right-hand side is going to be Mr. NTD. Now, NTD is a name I absolutely recognize. He is the director of Company of Heroes at GameReplays.org, and his ally, MrMojo Rising, also a fine player indeed. Their opponents today, let's take a look around the map right now. We have Mr. Neubine today playing as the Wehrmacht, and his ally is going to be Mr. Joe. I've seen a bunch of replays with Joe in it. I looked them both up. I think Neubine was actually just kind of on a Smurf account, but Joe is a fine player as well. So all these guys, great looking 2 versus 2 game. Let's get this game started here and take a look around and just see what everybody's doing. Very fantastic game. Like I said, in 2 versus 2 games, you have a lot of kind of ideas flowing around here that are a little bit different than 1 versus 1. Taking a look around, we can see that it looks like MrMojo Rising is going to be starting off with the barracks. And we have, this is a common split actually. It seems like NTD doesn't like it or doesn't want to do it. But I've honestly, I played as a lot of allies. I've done allied opening build orders where I did WSC start early game. I honestly preferred Rifleman always. But especially in team games, having a weapon support center first can be very useful. We'll have to see what NTD's planning on getting there. Otherwise, looks like standard Wehrmacht quarters for both players. No Pioneer rushing or anything like that. Really, for double Wehrmacht, the decision point comes once you hit to like Tier 2 and Tier 3. Often you'll see one player get a Krieg Barracks and one player get a Sturm Armory, and so you can get that the duality of having Panthers and having anti-tank guns and things like that out there. Not Panthers, what did I mean? Pumas, that's what I'm talking about, Pumas out there. So usually we'll see those buildings once you hit Tier 2. But Allies, this is pretty interesting here, and I think it gives a lot of variety to what the Allied start can be like. So we'll take a look and see that he's going for machine gun team first. That's awesome. Hopefully we'll see him come out and try and grab some of this position here. Really, a lot of times in team games, it's all about denying the access and ability. Whoa, and we've got a Jeep out here by Mojo Rising already. And this fight is off to a pretty rapid start here. So you can see that Joe started with a motorcycle. Motorcycle, fantastic. Neubine has a heavy machine gun team out there. So motorcycle, heavy machine gun team, great combination. They really complement each other well. And it's going to be hard for this Jeep to get any sort of an edge in that fight. The Jeep instead is just going to scoot on out of there. And suddenly we have like a high-speed chase going on right now. You can see this Jeep is just kind of trying to best get away. I really wish this guy could like lean out his window and return fire with a pistol or something. But yeah, we got a little bit of a chase scene going on here. So that's a bit of an interesting opening here. Obviously, it's very useful having Jeeps in team games because you are inevitably going to see some sort of a sniper. For the Dawn of War 2 players out there, the motorcycles and Jeeps detect snipers and whatnot. Anyhow, what I was going to say is that going weapon support center first in bigger team games like 3 versus 3 or 4 versus 4 can be really good because sometimes just getting lots of mortars right off the bat or lots of snipers or machine gunners, it's really good having at least one player do that. In 2 versus 2, it can be a bit of a gamble just because it's a little bit harder. It's a little bit harder to deal with if your opponents are really aggressive at taking out machine gun nests and stuff. So other than that, we can see it looks like Mojo's just kind of going for Rifleman. A little bit of that going on here. I love what is going on over here, by the way. So what NTD did is he took control over this building right now. And I'm focusing on them right now because, honestly, they're the ones who are kind of being the aggressors here in the middle. This is stuff I would normally see Axis players do. Notice the barbed wire here, preventing troops that are standing out here from getting green cover behind the wall by pushing them off a little bit. That means that you can't just stand behind this wall and fire away at the machine gunners. So unfortunately the Axis are a little bit behind right now in terms of controlling this side of the map. However, notice on the left hand side of the map, really far push. You can see the heavy machine gun team by Neubine has moved up all the way. The Volks Grenadiers are looking good. All of those shenanigans there with the motorcycle and the Jeep worked out in the favor of the Axis. And right now the Axis players have got control over this victory point, and they're kind of fighting over the middle. This is, again, why the middle is so hard. Notice, by the way, these walls are totally see-through. As a result, NTD Sniper having no problem just picking off guys that are sticking on the other side of that right there. So the line of sight, very open middle here. We can see a little bit of light casualties happening. Nobody really has the time to grab that for now. Here we have a nice looking firefight here. Again, we can see the beauty. Oh, and check out what Joe is doing here. I love this. So he's shoving these guys out of cover with his motorcycle. The motorcycle is also providing a little bit of machine gun fire there. But you can see the whole time his own troops are laying down. Maybe they've got some yellow cover there. It's hard to tell. But it looks like that motorcycle had to get out of there. But it gave a little bit of an advantage there. We can see a couple of squads there being forced to retreat, taking a bunch of heavy casualties. And now it's just going to be Jeep and Engineers. And the Engineers, too, are taking casualties. So it looks like Joe's going to be on top of the ball with that one. Up north, we can see, I don't know how MrMojo got up there, but he's doing some good damage up there. And I think I heard Browning 50. Yeah, there we go. There's the Browning 30 caliber machine gun. That's the heavy machine gun team. The second one right now moving out. So we've got machine gun, sniper for NTD right now. Totally lost track of where his sniper went, or if it's still okay. As you can see, NTD, not a fan of this WSC start. I think it's fine with an asterisk. That's going to be my official response there. Anyhow, we can see that MrMojo Rising, however, is just going to be moving out. And it looks like he's in a bit of a pickle right now. You can see he's really getting suppressed very quickly by this MG42 team out there by Neubine. He's kind of in no man's land, but he is behind green cover. And as you can see, with the upgrade, the Browning automatic rifles, we have quite a few allied upgrades here. He's doing a pretty good job. Taking a look around right now, we can see, again, great aggression by Joe. I love the fact that he's making sure the dividing line is here. A lot of times people like try and hold on to this victory point from back here. By just kind of making the fight happen up here, it just means his control over this area is a lot better. Unfortunately, it looks like that motorcycle is taking a lot of damage, but he's able to get out of there before the heavy machine gun team from NDT can do too much more damage. Again, note, nobody has been able to grab the center yet. This could be the first time in the game right now that MrMojo is able to take care of that. And I think those riflemen who were stuck so far behind enemy lines there were able to take out that motorcycle. Yeah, that's a pile of bodies on a motorcycle there. Looks like he's still sticking around here. This is a little bit risky. You can see his infantry are pretty low right now, and I believe there's even a sniper up here. Yeah, Neubine has got a sniper up there right now. Looks like a lot of fire being poured into the Jeep. Maybe he's busy microing the Jeep right now. You can see the Browning is just doing a lot of damage. Even though these guys only have 2 members right now, they got 2 or 3 more kills there. Oh, but the Browning guy goes down, and there goes the sniper, and it looks like these Pioneers are going to pick up their own Browning automatic rifle. Taking a look again here on the Eastern Front, we can see you've got the heavy machine gun team, the snipers, the barbed wire, oh, this is beautiful. This is just looking fantastic. Look at the barbed wire placement up front here. Really good control over this side of the map by NTD, so that's looking pretty good there. We can see here a little bit of just kind of light action going on here towards the middle. But at this point in the game, it's pretty obvious that the Axis are going to have pretty dominant control over the northern side. The Allies are going to have pretty dominant control over the southern side, and it's all going to come down to the central victory point, which is often the case here. So the Allies have the middle. That's good. Somewhere I just lost a Jeep going down there. That's unfortunate. Looks like they were picked off by this heavy machine gun team. I just heard the grenades have arrived voice, so that means, of course, that Mojo Rising is just going for massive infantry right now. Not too much else going on there, and still just lots of weapon support center stuff going on for NTD. Let's take a look around right now. I'm going to go ahead and swap on up to, I'm going to go to Joe's point of view and see what the Axis are up to right now. So again, notice that the colors have swapped on the mini-map. I always have to point that out in case people get lost in their analysis. And looking around right now, we can see just a fantastic push going on right now by MrMojo Rising with his flamethrowers right now. We've got quite a few units here, but it looks like a kind of a massive retreat. Actually, I probably picked the worst time to change camera positions right then, just because there was so much action going on this side of the map right now. This one MG42 team stuck behind heavy cover, really nestled in there, actually. That's a very difficult position to see, let alone to do damage to. But you can see one of Mojo Rising's flamethrower engineers made it into cover, and are just going to burn these guys out of heavy cover. That's looking quite fine. Big old massive retreat there happened on the north, which is unfortunate. When all the guys retreat at the same time, that means, oh, going to step on a landmine on the retreat path there. That's actually the best time to hit a landmine. Now we can see that split that I was talking about. You can see Joe is going for the Sturm Armory, likely getting some Pumas out, and Neubine is going for the Krieg Barracks. I'm just going to guess. He could be going Grenadiers, but let me take a peek here. It looks like, yeah, he is going to go ahead and get the anti-tank gun. And he has already bought Inspired Assault right now. Inspired Assault basically makes him do more damage and take more damage. It's a terror ability, so he's going to go terror. I don't know if he's used it yet or anything like that. And, oh no, it looks like these Pioneers were taken out right before they got their flamethrower upgrade. Kind of burned out of there by Engineers. The Engineers, however, what are they going to do? They need to retreat. Oh, God, he's got to be a little bit more careful. I don't know if you can see these guys. Unfortunately, the flamethrower is just kind of burning down this observation post. He can't possibly survive much longer. Can he? Can he? Throwing some fire out there. Just get out of there, sir. I don't know why I'm focusing on him so much. Yes, he is going to be able to retreat. Now we have another massive infantry attack. Infantry from both sides, actually. Sniper, flamethrower Pioneers, and just regular Volksgrenadiers moving up. Now we can see the hand grenades being put to good use there. Boom! Look at that. Ooh, taking out 2 men there, it looks like. This gentleman, oh, he's so excited. He's running around all on fire. Look at him. Oh, but he got all tuckered out and is just going to have to lay down and take a little flaming nap there. Unfortunately, that entire squad just got burned to death there. That's kind of annoying. We can see here that it looks like NTD had a very nice forward position, but now that his ally got forced out of here, he's not going to be able to get out of there. So that is unfortunate. By the way, there used to be a way in Company of Heroes Online that you could modify the setting files to turn off the runs around on fire animation, because it can be kind of annoying because visually I found it distracting because it's hard to tell when your guys are still alive or not. Instead, they just fall over dead. I don't know if you can actually do that with this version of the game, though. Anyhow, here is that Puma that we see out there right now. Puma just going to go ahead and drive through some walls, really going to wreck up on these machine guns. And that's a problem there. Now, the machine guns can do quite a bit of damage to Pumas if they get a good tack on them, but it all sort of depends here. So taking a look around now, I'm going to go ahead and look at Joe and see if he's spent any points yet. No, I do not believe he has. He still has the generic German logo there, meaning he definitely hasn't. Again, a nice little trick taught to me by KG, another fantastic commentator out there. I do enjoy doing that. If you just kind of click around and hit escape, you can see that the allies right now, MrMojo Rising, has not spent any of his points yet, and we'll take a look at NTD and see if he's spent anything. Nope, again, he just has the generic allied symbol. So none of these guys have spent any money yet. Let's take a closer look here at the Axis right now and see what's going on. We do have another Puma armored car out there, so double Pumas on the field right now. That is certainly dangerous, and I believe we had an anti-tank gun at some point. There it is right there. There's that Pack 38, nice and cloaked. Looking around through the allied base, we can see, oh, NTD being a little bit sneaky here. He went ahead, bought a supply yard, and got a tank depot up, whereas his ally got a motor pool up. So it's going to be up to Mojo Rising to get any sort of anti-tank guns out there for the time being. But let's take a look around here. So obviously we've got some snipers out there right now. NTD has swapped up to snipers, it looks like, for the most part. I mean, double snipers are out there. That's certainly helpful. These Pumas have a really nice presence on the battlefield here until Composition B, sticky bombs get out there. The infantry are going to have a hard time dealing with this. You can see just kind of stalling out here in the middle for the time being. Nice crossfire position here, though, by that 30 caliber Browning team.